Hi everybody, it's Claire, and I just wanted to share a little something that the postman delivered today. It's extremely exciting. It's an excerpt, an unedited excerpt from Johanna Basford. She is releasing a How to Draw Inky Wonderlands book in the middle of October. You can buy it from a variety of sources. I've pre-ordered mine on Amazon. And this is a little sneaky preview. How exciting is this? I don't really know what to say. It's just such a good idea. It's such a good idea. So how many of us admire Johanna's designs? And I am far from being an artist. I can't draw for toffee. And this little gem is going to show you exactly how Johanna creates her work. How unselfish is that? It's just brilliant. She's showing us what she does. Literally just showing us what she does. So, as you can see, it's got Johanna's kind of standard black and white front. I think this will vary on the actual proper full version of the book, because I've seen some cover versions on Amazon and I think it's going to have some pink foiling on it. As you can see here, it's just the unedited excerpt for limited distribution for this. So this is kind of just like a sneaky preview book, which I wanted to share with you. So I've got this. Then what I thought we'd do, why not give it a go? I can't draw at all, but I thought, well, you know, come on, give it a go. It's going to help me immeasurably when I add things to the backgrounds in her pages, which I have done quite a lot of in the past, and it will really help me keep it in context of what Johanna's already drawn. So I've got my trusty Faber-Castell HB pencil. It's a jumbo. I've only just seen these recently, actually. I didn't know you could get them in jumbo size, so I'm using it because I just think it's really, really cute. And I've got, clearly I need that. And I've got a 0.1 black fine liner. I know that Johanna inks a lot of her work in 0.1 and 0.2 nib sizes, so I've just got 0.1 out. So, shall we take a look? So we've got a beautiful introduction page. And what she says is, I'm going to share a secret with you. One that the art world has been trying to keep quiet for centuries. Drawing isn't a talent, it's a skill. And it's a skill that anyone can master. I am living proof of this. I was never the best at drawing in my class, but here I am. I've made a career from drawing pictures. How? Because I cracked the drawing code. Method plus imagination times practice equals drawing. And then she goes on to talk about that she's divided the book into 3 realms. So clearly her previous 3 colouring books were Lost Ocean, Magical Jungle and Secret Garden. So what she's done is she said, I've split the book into 3 different realms for you to explore: garden, ocean and forest. So we get tips and tricks for all of the different designs that Johanna has used throughout all of her books. So it's not just 1 or 2 things, which is really good. And then she signed it for me at the bottom, which is really cool. So we have blooms, and I'm just going to move this over. There we go. Blooms. So this is how Johanna draws her flowers. So most flowers begin as a simple dot or circle. Each of these blooms can be drawn in 5 simple steps. So you've got step 1 down here, which starts with just looks like a cross or a dot or a circle. And then you can see how she's got like a cross of 4 petals. And then you get 2 petals in between. So it's all about kind of proportionality and making it balance. And then she's put 5 petals around here. And if I count, yeah, so there's 3 mini segments in each. So that will help you. Yes, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that will help you understand where to place the petals. And then she's just kind of jazzed it up with her little lines and her dots that we're so used to seeing. So how incredible is that? How incredibly simple is that? If you asked me to draw that, you wouldn't have a chance. You literally wouldn't have a chance of me getting it so that it was proportional and it was, you know, equal on all sides. When you look at it like that, how easy is that? I mean, look at this. That is even more complicated. I would not know where to start. But she literally just starts with a little cross in the corner. 1 petal, 3 petals, and then she reversed the design and adds her little embellishments. That's just so cool. It's really simple, actually. It's really, really simple. I wouldn't have imagined it would be that simple. So what she's saying is that you get to the point, so you do this in pencil. What does she say? So 1 to 4 in pencil, and then go over your pencil lines, adding detail and embellishments, and finally erase the pencil lines. Oh, okay, I've got it. So, can you see down here? I'm just going to give this a little go. So I'm going to do myself. I'm just going to try and replicate this top one and see if I can get something that's half decent. Can you see what I'm drawing? I'm drawing there. I don't know if you can see it. I'm not drawing heavy-handed enough. I'll just go over that slightly darker. It'll make it harder for me to rub out, but at least you'll be able to see it. So we start with a little circle. So we're doing this. Okay, even I can manage that. Do one of them. So you're making like a cross in the centre. Okay, and then we've got 2 mini ones in between each bit. You can see how rubbish I am, can't you? That's why I'm a colourist and not a drawing person. But Johanna says we can all be drawers. See, mine aren't as even as hers, but I get the idea. Okay, so now I'm going to have 3. So I'm going to kind of petal on there and go down to 3. Well, that's rubbish because I need it to be more rounder. Johanna's a round. That's a bit better. A bit better. Has she got a gap? No, she starts there, look. So 1, 2, 3. You wouldn't believe how hard I'm having to concentrate at this. Can you see why I'm a colourist now instead of, well, that's just crap because she hasn't got a gap. Can you see now why I'm a colourist and not an artist? But I suspect we will spend a lot of time doing this, but at least we know how she does it. Oh, that's a bit better. That's a bit better. I think mine's going to end up having 6 petals, but you know, hey, it's my world. I might just take that first one out a little bit because it doesn't match the shape of the rest now. That's not as good as Johanna's, but correct me if I'm wrong, it's a flower and it has 5 petals. Yeah, that's not quite in the middle. It's about there. It's a flower. So then I think what she wants us to do, or what she suggests we do, is ink it. Now you'll be able to see what I've drawn on the video a little bit more clearly. I don't think that looks too bad. Not as good as Johanna's, clearly. Right, so she hasn't got that circle, so what she wants us to do is outline these. So this is how she gets the same amount of petals, I think, in each segment. And then she's got the little circle in the middle. And she's got kind of the petal crease lines. And I'm hoping when I rub this out, it's not going to smudge the ink. It doesn't on her books because it's carded paper. So I'm just going to be gentle when I rub the pencil out on one little bit and see what happens. What else have we got? We've got a little embellishment on each of these. Got a little dot. And see, what I would probably do is, on my World of Flower pages especially, let me just show you what I mean, as I've got them out. So if I, let's just carefully see if this smudges on this paper. Perfect. No, it doesn't. Johanna will have thought about that. I don't know why I doubted her. Okay, so what I would do is probably take a little, so you can see what I've drawn down here. Probably just take like a little yellow tiny, before I started colouring it. It's a little tiny embellishment. Well, I don't think that's bad for a first attempt. Considering if you'd have asked me to draw that, I'd have really struggled. So, shall we have a look and see what else there is? I think that's probably enough of you watching me draw. I think you'll say, no, I've had enough of you drawn, Claire, can I just see the book? So let's go through the rest of the book. So here we have some tips and tricks for symmetry. So what Johanna's saying is she draws half of the pattern, puts the tracing paper over the top and traces the half, flips it over, scribbles over the back, and lo and behold, you get your symmetrical heart with exactly the same pattern. I'm sure Johanna, you know, I'm sure she did material and textile and wallpaper designs, and you can really see that here because you can see how they would have to be extremely detailed and symmetrical. Spherical motifs. Oh, okay, so this is like her wreaths and larger flowers, I guess. So it's basically starting with building up from smaller circles. So repeating what we just did, but placing it within a larger circle and having multiples, which is quite cool. Fish. So these are clearly harking to Lost Ocean. So she's shown us all the different patterns and left us some gaps to fill in all our our own patterns. So like I say, this is an excerpt from the book. So this is a selection of the things that you will get, that you'll be taught. And I mean, for instance, with this, I know it's a teaching book, but what's to stop you colouring that? Nothing at all. It's beautiful. That would make a lovely Valentine's page. Just remove from there, or you know. So there is some colouring aspects to it as well, which is quite nice. Seaweed. Seaweeds are the flowers of the ocean and are as easy to master as any garden vine. Just start with a stem and then build it up from there. So same principle. So you're just starting with a simple line and then one kind of frond at the top and then just building it up from that. I mean, I couldn't draw that. I couldn't draw that in a million years. But if you told me I had to start with that, that totally makes sense. It's so clever. It really is so clever. And I love these spherical designs. There was a similar one that she did for one of the competitions about a year ago, I think, where it was from Ivy in a little sailing boat with house mouse. I love the spherical design. So clearly she's left this blank for us to try the seaweed in these blank spaces. Yes, complete the magical seascape with tangles of seaweed, tropical fish, and maybe a scary sea monster. I don't think my ability would extend to a scary sea monster, but yours probably will. Trees. Nice, looks quite complicated. Oh, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as the symmetry with the heart. So she would just start off with a few lines and then add the leaves on one half, trace it, flip it, and then clearly you're going to get a gap in the middle where she just says to fill with. So it's balanced. So my secret to drawing perfect trees is tracing paper. Of course, trees aren't symmetrical, but I love the balance of proportions this technique creates. It feels very calming. And again, there's like a colouring page. So, you know, there's nothing to stop at all you colouring this side, and this is the tips and tricks on how to create it. So there's definitely something for everybody here, I think. Birdies. I used to find birds really tricky. I worried that they didn't look like they could fly, bodies too chubby, wings too little, and then I remembered they were my Inky creations, so I could draw them any way I fancied them. And see, again, if you said, can you draw that? I'd be like, Johanna, go away. But it's starting with the basic shapes and just building it up. And then clearly what makes this scary is the embellishments. But if you build it up, the basic shape, so if you had kind of just this, and then you put the little tiny embellishments on, it just makes something that's really impressive. So she's drawn the tree limbs here, clearly for us to sit the little birdies on. fill out your branches with your own inky birds. And this is the last one in the excerpt, wildflower stems. And this will really help me, because sometimes when I add trees or I add foliage, I do actually take Johanna's images and try to recreate them. So this will really help me, because I add quite a few flowers and leaves to some of the details, especially in ivy. So super easy to draw, just a stem, a flower and a leaf. Play with different bloom and leaf combinations to invent your own unique species of wildflower. And again, she's literally just starting off with a very, very simple line, and then a combination of just lines and bells and circles, and just building them up. And when you break it down step by step, because we've already done the leaves previously, but if you combine a flower with a leaf, hey ho. So I honestly think there will be something for everyone in here. What have we got on the back? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. With step-by-step exercises, inspiring prompts, and still plenty of pages to colour, so there's something for everybody. You'll be free to let your creativity run wild. How to Draw Inky Wonderlands invites you to develop your personal drawing style and master creating marvellous creatures and landscapes using only the pen or pencil in your hand and the wildest reaches of your imagination. Pretty cool. So I absolutely know thousands of you will have yours already on pre-order, like me, from Amazon. And as I say, if this is just a little snapshot of what is to come, I think we're going to be in for a treat. It's going to be out in the middle of October. As I say, mine's pre-ordered because I don't want to risk not having it when it's released. But I think we are going to be spoiled, girls and boys. All right, I hope you've enjoyed that. Bye for now.